it's Julian, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to make hard melodic rave techno melodic stuff. The bass, the pads, the leads, all of that. To go along with this video, I actually just dropped a new sample pack. Link is right in the top of the description. It's called Powerful Hard Melodic Rave Techno Melodic Constructions Volume 1. What this is, I'll play you a little demo of it really quick. So yeah, you can hear what these are is it's these 10 different kits here. Each one you get a lead, bass, and a pad. And then inside of that I have the individual loops of each one, plus the MIDI files and the Ableton files. So you can see for all of these, you pretty much have everything you need. And you can just take these, and you can even just use the project files and just, use these as a template and write your own, but you have some really solid sounds to work with as well. So yeah, I just wanted to create a really, really strong package of sounds for you guys to use in this style. If you guys enjoyed these videos, definitely go grab this as well. It really helps support me. On top of these 10 really solid melodic kits, you also get 20 bonus kicks, as well as some bonus percussion loops. And I'll show you, these are like those ravey kind of crunchy loops like this. The kicks are really hard too. Yeah, so link at the top of the description. Again, if you enjoyed these videos, definitely go grab that. Let's dive into the video now. So this is actually kit 1 from the pack. And yeah, so usually with these style of tracks, it's not that hard to write these melodies. I think that is hard if you don't really know where you're going and you're not really sure where to start. So the first thing is keeping it simple, right? In any given track in the style, in terms of your melodic elements, it's really just going to be these 3 at the most. Maybe even just 2 of them. Maybe even just like the bass and the lead, and sometimes even just the lead. Because these tracks are simple, right? They're not meant to have a whole bunch of like 50 layers to the pad and going in and doing all these little details. It's meant to just be quick and powerful and hard hitting. And so it's better to kind of write 2 or 3 parts that are really, really effective just with the 3 of them or the 2 of them, rather than, write 3 parts and then go and make something else that's just kind of like it's just going to get too complicated. You really just want to stick to simple is going to be best. So try to limit yourself to a bass and a lead and a pad at the most. But yeah, so I usually start with the lead. So this is the lead here. So basically, we are in the key of G sharp minor. So what we're doing here is, you'll notice we're not actually really using G sharp as the root note, right? G sharp is actually only the second note every time. But it still works even when the bass is playing that G sharp there. So that's something to think about. You're not always just going to start right on the root note. And I think this is a good technique for kind of getting that more uneasy feeling in the melody, right? You can see here I start on what is the 9th, 2nd, whatever you want to call it, but it's just basically 2 notes up from the root. So by starting on that note, especially when you're already hearing a G sharp in the bass, which is the root note, that alone is creating a lot of kind of tension, and not tension in the sense of like a build-up, but tension in terms of just making it a little bit darker, a little bit more evil, and just kind of off sounding. You want it to feel kind of uneasy, and so yeah, that can really help. And then you can see, so it goes down like that, but you see it's kind of resolving like we do when we get up to that. That's perfect, right? It's very much kind of just playing with that, right? But then keeping it so simple, because you still just have this constantly going, just over and over. And then we're just changing out those top notes and really just playing with kind of building up to that resolution. And you get it over here too. Right, then we go up to the 5th, and then the 4th. This note will be the 3rd. And yeah, so like, what you can see here is that if you know what you're doing with any minor scale, like literally just looking up like the minor scale shape, like that kind of a scale in any key, you know, if you can do that, which is basically just root note, 7th, minor 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, minor 3rd, 9th, 2nd, whatever you want to call it, root note. So like, pretty basic musical intervals there. And then it's just like getting really saucy with that, you know? It's just like getting really creative and doing little things and having like kind of different moving parts of it. Again, we have this constantly. But if it was just that, if we just had... Right, it sounds really weird. So it's like, you have this melody up here, which is just da, 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 like up there. And then you're like putting that against the other one. And that's what's creating like a lot of the movement there. And yeah, and then I'd probably move, after the lead, I'd probably move up to the bass. So then the next part here would be taking the bass and writing something that's going to kind of be like a more like epic kind of chord progression without being too like kind of obvious. Because I think you can definitely make this cheesy, right? Like, you know, if you wanted to just do like... Or maybe more so like... Right, like that's kind of cheesy. That sounds like an 80s rock song or something. You don't want to do that. And that's definitely easy to do when you're writing in these like darker minor scales, again, like I was talking about. So you really want to take your time with the voices. Like, understanding the scale is only part of it. Because there's a lot of people that understand the scale and then they would write. Woo! Like, it's like... I don't know, it just doesn't sound as good as something that's a little bit kind of, you want to pay a little bit more attention to the notes that you're playing with your bass, following that scale, but just really get creative with the intervals. And something that you can do here is kind of playing with the different octaves. Like, for example, this bass line is really just, right? But then we take that note and put it down an octave. And it's like a whole different feeling. So I recommend trying that. You know, write what may seem simple. You may even just do like... which is like even more basic and corny. But then maybe if you take this and put it up like an octave. Yeah, see, then you kind of get a little bit of a more interesting flavor to it. So again, like, I think that's really powerful for writing those bass lines. And what you want to do is usually you're just going to start on the root note with the bass line. And then it's just got to fit with the lead, basically. You know, and usually the lead is going to keep droning kind of whatever it's doing. And then the bass is the thing that's going to change with the chord progression. Cool. And then the last element is writing in these pads. And you guys know about the kind of pad I'm talking about here, like something like this. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of these recently. These are super popular. I think it's definitely rising. I think this kind of sound is going to get a lot more popular soon. But it's not that hard to do. What you have to do, though, is basically you have to have the bass line written. Like this pad, you don't even think about that until you get the bass. And then once you have the bass, what you can do is you can take that melody or that MIDI file and just drop it onto here. And basically, we're not just going to make chords. Like, it would be easy to go and do, okay, let's make this first chord is G sharp minor. And the second chord would be C sharp minor. Like, as cool as that sounds, I think what can be a lot more powerful is just really using notes that are in the scale and not really like trying to focus too much on the chord shapes, but really just like what sounds cool, you know? Like, I might do the 4th there, or maybe we do like 6th, and then we'll do minor 7th, and then 5th. Right, so that's like a lot cooler sound there. And then if we take those and put them down an octave, you can see like it's not really the most ideal chords. Like we're kind of playing like this major chord here, but then like at the start, for example, where we're just like taking that and putting the root note up. Like, it shouldn't really work, but I think that's part of what sounds really cool and what's making it really unique. I've never heard pads like this in other styles of techno or other styles of music, and I think it's just a really creative sound that is really interesting. And then essentially what you're going to do is you write that in, and then you just delete the bottom notes. And then there you go, there's your pad. And then, again, it's all about keeping it simple, right? Like, rather than put these root notes on the pad, well, don't do that. Just have the pad play 1 or 2 notes at a time, and then the bass plays the root notes, and then you kind of have like 2 elements coming together to create one thing. It's really cool. Especially when your bass is like da 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 like this, like it's doing something very different than the actual pad. And also, you'll notice like when the bass goes down there, the pad is going up. So it's kind of like another thing there too, is like kind of doing opposite movements. Like when one goes down, one goes up. So that, again, it's just going to feel really dynamic and alive underneath everything else in the track. And yeah, so that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. And let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get powerful, hard, melodic rave techno, melodic constructions. Big name, but has to be Volume 1. The link is right at the top of the description on my Bandcamp. Again, you get these awesome, super solid melody loops where you get the individual loops, the MIDI files, and the project files. So you have everything you need to go and make an awesome track in the style. Again, it's just a bunch of really solid ones. Some really cool sounds in there too in the project files to work with. Plus you get the bonus percussion loops and the bonus kicks as well. So you have everything you need to make a solid track. If you guys enjoyed these videos, definitely go grab this. It really helps me out. I appreciate all the support, guys. And yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.